Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, little booger bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse dipping, I raiding. We act the fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton. Bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on second down. Coleman. And open right side. It's Rodgers. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Let's go!
On first down, Coleman. And Ty Montgomery has it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Tw0MinsLate422's Smith that time there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Holding. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A give to Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Ty Montgomery, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we All there, that nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native. At quarterback, it's Baker Mayfield.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Mayfield on play action. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved down to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10.
Let's go. 1-9.
Throwing to start the drive. Holding. His throw incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again. Folding. Ebron caught left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now Howard, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ohio! Ohio! Come on!
To throw on second down. Folding. He's got it at the 15. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down, they run with Howard. And now running right through it. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking to throw on second down. Folding. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Mayfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On third down, Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Coleman. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen,
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Coleman. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw on 2nd down. Coleman. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Holding. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go. Blue Niner. Blue Niner.
2nd down, Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Mayfield. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Lee. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And again, it's Mayfield. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Throwing on first down. Fuller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Ohio!
Operating from the gun. Foley. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. He's got a man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep in the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
They pitch out to Howard. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On first and 10, Foley. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now they try the right side here. So he got 3 at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. So we nearly one-sided game so far. As we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Lee's got it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different.
I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. What that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You got an opportunity to catch passes now too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat and mouse game. Line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. To throw again. Foreman. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On the toss play, Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Oh, look at the Jew. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Foley escaping the pressure right and avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, a 22. On first and goal, Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jordan Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And it is extra point winds up successful. So that drive 7 plays in length. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got ball.
On first down, Foley. Throw complete there, Rodgers. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Running with Howard. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 4th down, Foley. And that is going to be in. The Colts unable to take possession here, the turnover on downs.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They go with Howard again. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Black round! Black round!
To throw on 3rd down. Hold it. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. Then you got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, think this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing. Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up, and they take over already 5 yards. It's deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Now the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This is Howard on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Back to throw. Folding. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
This drive started with first and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Here we go!
Looking to throw. Holding. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Devontae Parker, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Here we go.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and a mile. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Green 39! Green 39!
Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Elsewhere, 4th quarter score now for Baltimore. And the Ravens have opened things up there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. This is Howard on the toss right. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a toss play. This is Mack. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of a yard gets him back. 3rd and 10.
Well, they won't bump that to his resume reel, but that might be one of the best 1-yard runs I've seen.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down. Folding. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Tw0MinsLate422's, able to get a hand on it there. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on. Get it done. And maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. The beauty of being able to play a zone deep and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can make a play on the football.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Jaguars on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Mayfield looks to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. The Seahawks have scored in that one, and they retake the lead. Case Keenum with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Colts, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll